This is the Minaal Daily Carry 3.0. Now, the Carryon 3.0 is hands down one of my favorite bags that I've ever used of all time. So when Minaal offered me the chance to review the smaller version of that, their daily carry version basically of that, made from the same materials and the same great hardware and everything like that, I was super ecstatic to try this thing out in a couple different ways. And I have to say that overall, I'm very impressed with this bag. Okay, so even though this bag is meant for daily carry, like to the office and to the gym and maybe like your daily commute and things, as you can totally see, I work from home in my cluttered, wonderful office. I rearranged my office a little bit to kind of make it easier to record stuff. I like this angle better than sitting behind the table and everything. So, but yeah, so I can't test this out by taking it to the office because my office is across the country. And I don't really have a daily commute to work because I walk from my bedroom to this room. So, I recently went on a hike to a frozen waterfall, and I thought, you know what, let's test this bag out. If this bag can survive a hike in the conditions, it was snowing, it was cold, it was damp. You'll see in a lot of the clips, it got pretty banged up, right? And I was like, if it can survive that, then it should have no problem surviving your daily commute to work. But also the functionality while I was on a hike. For me, if a bag can function really well when I'm on a hike, right? When I'm out in the outdoors, I'm using it for that reason, that I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't do extremely well if I was using it for office sake. And the way you can load this thing out, and there's a bunch of different ways you could use this, I would say that as an office bag, this thing would do exceptionally well. As a daily commute bag or a gym bag, it would also do exceptionally well. But as a hiking bag, surprisingly, out of left field, kind of blew me away as one of my favorite bags I've taken on a hike in quite a long time, actually. So I'm not sure when that video will come out. It's either out before or after this. Don't go chasing waterfalls. That's what I might end up calling it. I have no idea. But I went and literally looked for a waterfall and used this thing. So with all of that, I'm going to give you my general impression of this bag, and then I'm going to walk you through how I loaded it out in every nook, cranny, crevasse that is on this. Let's get into it. Okay, so one thing that I noticed hiking, right? It was like a 4-mile round trip hike up a mountain. Comfortable, right? Surprisingly comfortable. And now, is this thing loaded out super well, like with a lot of stuff? No. Not really. I don't even have a laptop in here, so that does add a little bit of weight. But I do have like a full water bottle and a bunch of camera gear and things like that. So it definitely was a little heavy. But honestly, overall, even with this kind of like simplistic little harness system, these are some thin straps, right? Thin straps, no load lifters, no waist belt. No, you can't even get the attachment to have the hip straps on this thing. So really, all you have to work with is the sternum strap. And I will say that I'm 5'7", like 170 pounds. No, I'm 5'8". 5'8", 170 pounds. I'm not that short. And for one, it's a nice, small, good-looking bag. I mean, honestly, you don't have to worry about it looking too big or too small on your back. But it's comfortable. And hiking up the mountain, there wasn't a point ever on the hike where I was like, man, this is getting very uncomfortable. This is very strenuous or whatever the word is. Words are hard for me. But even though this is like a very simple back panel, not a lot of room to breathe, and very small, minimal straps, I found the comfort factor of this bag to be really, really well. Now, with that, I will say if you were to load this thing out super, super heavy, then I could definitely see that it would become uncomfortable because you don't have that ability to adjust load lifters or put the weight on your hips with a hip strap. But again, at this size, you don't really want to pack this one out. If you really wanted to pack something out with a lot of stuff and make it heavy and have the hip straps, then you'd probably just shoot for the carry-on because you'd have more space, more organization, and would have load lifters and the hip straps to kind of evenly distribute that weight. I can't remember off the top of my head. I didn't quite look it up before I started, but I believe this is like a 20-ish liter bag, but ultimately the size and everything of this bag I'm a fan of. I like the material. It's the same material. It's on the 3.0 with the basic little Minaal logo. Great material, great fabric, very dust resistant, very hair resistant. So if you have dogs that shed a lot like I do. So here's the thing that really, really blew me away about this, right? A lot of times I try to unzip bags one-handed because I have to film and everything. But with this bag, right, except for the fact that it wants to flop down because of all the weight, honestly, once you get it going, for one, these YKK zips are awesome. But if you didn't have weight, like I'll pull a bag just a little bit, right? I could do that all day. Like I'm on a racetrack, right? Like I'm NASCAR, just going left all day long. Don't have to worry about it. These zippers are some of the smoothest that I've ever dealt with. Even if they get caught a little bit, like you just barely have to touch the fabric and it'll zip seamlessly. Now, these aren't weather guard, and I took it out in the snow and it did get wet and everything, and on the way back I ended up using the Rainfly just to make sure that nothing happened. But honestly, I took some tumbles. I'll probably throw some clips in here. I took some tumbles and some falls in the snow. I also had two of my lovely friends decide to throw a bunch of snow at me while I was wearing this, and I even shook a tree over it of snow, right? And it was fine. Honestly, this material very, very durable when it comes to the water resistant factor. And that's the other thing. You have two great handles on this bag. You have one good handle on the side because you can actually tuck these straps away. They clip in down here at the bottom, and you can tuck them away, and you can actually carry this thing briefcase style if you wanted to. And honestly, even though it's a little floopy floppy, depending on how you carry it, because the one thing that I don't particularly like is that there is an internal like water bottle pocket, like a water bottle sleeve, and it's on this side where the handle is. So you have a bunch of weight up there, which kind of makes it that floopy factor. So I kind of wish that the handle would have been on this, because I feel like you get less of that floopy factor. But overall, if you tuck the straps away and you decide to go briefcase mode, it's not bad. You have another little small strap up here. I found this to actually be not too bad. I do wish it was a little bit bigger. I kind of wish it was like the full length right here, just so you could grab anywhere. But overall, the handles and the grab points on this bag are pretty solid. Also, that's really solid is the zipper pulls. You've got these nice little Minaal zipper pulls that you saw on the Carryon 3.0 that I feel like are really, really nice. All the hardware, the minimal branding on this thing, all of that, just really, really done well. So my basic, I guess, gist on this bag is that I love the material. I love that it's durable. I love that it's easy to use and easy to access. Everything on this bag is going to be super easy to access no matter what you're getting to or what you've put into it. And I like that for its size and for its kind of basic harness system, it's a pretty comfortable bag. I mean, I've seen like bags that have like some extreme harness systems. Like the one that really comes to mind is the Evade 1.5 from Alpha 19er, right? That's like a heavy duty harness system on a bag roughly this size, and like the comfort factor is almost the same, right? I could probably definitely pack out the Evade a little bit more, but overall, like, I know I've already hit on it, but like the comfort factor on this bag, like, really kind of blew me away. I'm being honest with you. Okay, with all of that, let me go ahead and jump into all the nooks and crannies and pockets of this bag, because I know it's what people ultimately care about. Okay, so you have a front quick access compartment that I used for a bunch of things. On my hike, I actually ended up, when I wasn't like holding it, which I did for most of the time, I put my Pocket 2 camera just kind of sat in here when I needed to charge it and stuff like that. But what I have in here right now is, this is basically the same loadout that I had on the hike. Actually, I think it is the same loadout I had on the hike. I've got my Powerbeat Pros in here. This is where I put a pair of sunglasses just in case, even though it was cloudy and snowy, I never know. And these are like scratched up and banged up, so I didn't really care that they were in here with other stuff. And then also threw my wallet because I want to make sure I know where it's at. Now in here you have a mesh zippered guy. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the zippered mesh guy? And in here, it's a good spot to put your keys because you also have a key clip. Now, can you see that? So this is your zippered pocket on the inside here, right? And you could put a lot of different things in here. I mean, that's where I put my keys, and I'm not really worried about my sunglasses getting scratched. This isn't like a super soft, it's not like felt line or fleeced or anything. But even with like a wallet in there and a pair of sunglasses and like Powerbeat Pros, I'm not worried about. They're not gonna get scratched up. Now, if my keys were in there, maybe a little bit more. But I only have one key on there, so I mean, even then I'm not worried about it. But this is a great quick access. Again, if this is like your carry-on, which is it would be for a lot of people, I imagine, if you're flying, right? This is a great security dump pocket to put, you put your wallet, you put your headphones, you throw your phone in there, and that's your security dump, and then it's all right there. Headphones, especially if you have like AirPods. These are massive. This is a massive case. Look at that. You see that? Look at, whoop, wrong way. That's a massive case. It's like a brick. You could knock somebody out with this. So AirPod Pros, you could definitely fit in there and not have an issue. I like this quick access compartment. It's big. It's like the size of my hand. It's pretty massive. And it's super solid whether you want to pack it out a lot, pack it out a little. You also have that mesh compartment, which makes it really nice. Then we're going to move to the back of the bag just before I open the main compartment. This is the laptop compartment, which packed out a little different for my hike than I probably would the office. So you have the same double harness system that you saw in the carry-on, right? You have a spot for your laptop, 16-inch, and then a tablet. I think it's like 10 or 11-inch. And it's got that suspension system where you can access it from the top or from the side, depending on how you want to put your zippers, you have 2 ways to access that. Plus, it's lifted off the bottom of the bag. But if you're also running this thing briefcase mode, you also have clearance on that side well. So pretty well protected, pretty easy to get to. I really like this harness system, but how I ran it for my hike is I just kind of threw in here. This is like my Bellroy. This is like my new favorite thing. This is the Bellroy work Folio, like A5. I mentioned this in a couple other videos. I use this a lot, especially when I hike. I like to, got the zipper stuck a little bit. I like to have this just in case I ever want to take notes about anything for videos and footage and things like that. It's where I keep, if I travel, it's where I keep my passport, extra notebooks, where I put like boarding passes, and sometimes I'll even put my iPad mini in here. Just my all-around go-to thing. I really like this thing, but when I hike, sometimes I'll stop, jot down some notes, things like that. Never know. And then in the laptop, in the tablet sleeve, this is my Topo Designs pouch. This is hiking snack pouch, and I like to have that easily accessible. So I just kind of threw that just in there so it wasn't free. But that's your laptop side of this. But on the other side, you also have some pretty cool organization. This is like a little admin section on this thing. You got a pocket here zippered for some like larger items. You got a place for like business cards, another little sleeve, and then a big sleeve in the back that is secured by a clip. You kind of see something similar to this on the Carryon, where it's like more for like a dress shirt, but this kind of takes it to that like admin level. I would probably never use any of this for probably anything. Maybe if I wanted to throw like an extra notebook just to have. I don't have business cards. Probably never will. This is like perfect size, maybe for like a camera battery, if you wanted to. Maybe my final straw. Oh yeah, here we go. This is actually not bad. I like this. I would maybe put. This is where I put my my reusable straw. Yeah, I'd put my reusable straw right there for sure. I like that actually a lot for that. Maybe just where you put your mouse. I don't know, I'm just spitballing things here. Is this boring? Let's move on. Anyways, like I said, nice little admin if you wanted to, especially if you're running this thing briefcase mode. All of that is right here at the top. It's where you can just quickly grab whatever you need. So that is the laptop compartment of this bag. But we move into the main compartment, and this thing pretty much opens like full on, right? You got like a full nice opening, easy visual in here. And this is what my loadout looked like for hiking, right? And this is probably pretty similar to kind of how I'd pretty much run this thing with pouches, and you'll see why. But I had a beanie in here in case my ears got cold. My Gorilla Pod for obvious filming. This is a little pouch. I don't know if Boundary Supply is ever going to release this, but this was like a little prototype pouch for their Aris pack they gave me. Keep my Canon PowerShot in here just because it's in like perfect size. And then in here, this is the Renin pouch from Boundary Supply. This is where I keep my Canon M50, just my lens and everything in there. It's a really nice little makeshift camera cube. And then I have my Peter McKinnon little accessory case, which is where I keep all my accessories for the Pocket 2 that I'm filming off of, right? So on this side, like I said with the handle, this is like the little water bottle sleeve, and it's I don't even know, I didn't use it, and you can already see me trying to figure out how to, okay, I guess I have to put it, almost there, there we go. It's like the exact size of my water bottle, right? Like it is, you wouldn't get anything else in here. And honestly, as much as I'm getting my water bottle out on a daily basis without having one on the external, this is not something that is quick. My water bottle is full right now. Like, I like it if I can just kind of hook it and put it in. So it just honestly just sat there, sat right next to it. And honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. So unfortunately, with the water bottle on the inside, it's just the sleeve is like perfectly the same size. I mean, you could probably, not probably, you definitely could if you bought like a plastic water bottle, but I don't like using plastic water bottles, mainly for the reason that I can reuse my hydro flask and have a Brita filler. Just so much easier. You could probably fit like a normal gas station water bottle in there, but it's just the one spot that I wish maybe this was like mesh so it could expand. I mean, just something like that would be nice. I don't know. It's not my favorite addition to this bag. And then behind that, you have two spots for extra organization. They both have some dimension to them. The bottom one I didn't use, but nice and long, easy spot to put things, whatever you want in there, honestly. And above that is mesh, and that's where I put my microfiber towel that I use, because it was snowing and then I got wet. I fell into a creek. Don't want to talk about it. Well, half of me, a foot, fell into the creek. But I'd always like to have one of these in any condition, whether I'm sweating or cold or whatever. You never know. You might need one. And then also back here, my Peter McKinnon SD card case, because I carry a lot of SD cards with me now. So but these also could fit, like if I wanted to, I could put, and I thought about running it like that. I thought about putting my snack pouch in there. You could almost fit, you could fit your Bellroy, right? So if I'm going office mode, this is probably where I'm putting that because it's easy to get out. And I would just leave these open because I'm not worried about anything falling out. There's enough in here that you can just easily use that. But I mean, overall, that's the main gist of the inside compartment. Then down here at the bottom, just like on the Carryon, this is where Rainfly. That's where the Rainfly is stored. And I've heard some people be like, oh, I just take it out, I don't even worry about it, because it clips into the pocket, like has a little clip, and you just pull it around. On the inside, you can see, you see this little bump right here? That's the Rainfly. But look, it takes up virtually no space. And honestly, I'm glad I keep it in there because especially with snow, water, rain, anything like that, it never hurts just to grab that thing out and pull it over, and you can still carry the bag just as easy. I found it to be no issue at all. So overall, I really enjoy the Rainfly. I like it when a bag makes a Rainfly really easy. Like there's a pocket for it. It's out of the way. What else would you use this pocket for? Nothing. I wouldn't use it for anything. There's nothing else I really use it for. So if you've seen the Carryon, right, the only things that are really different are the size. And then the Carryon has two pockets because this one even has, I almost forgot about it, has the secret little passport pocket here on the back as well. Right, so you even have that option if this is your carry-on, you know, like your wallet. You know, maybe this is a spot where you put like something you might need, but you might not need to get quick access to. Passport, you know, wallet if you're going through security, things like that, right? But I mean, honestly, that's like the only real differences between the carry-on is that, you know, the carry-on has those two quick access compartments. It has load lifters. It has the ability to have the hip strap. I'm gonna have to cut there because I literally just sat here and thought for a minute. I think that's about the only differences really in terms of the layout of this bag, right? Obviously the size and things like that are going to be different, but overall it's almost an exact copy of the Carryon, and that's why I think I like using it so much. I wish there was an external water bottle pocket. That is the other thing. It's a little different. I do wish the handle was a little bit bigger, but overall I think this is a really solid bag if you're going to use it for gym, everyday carry, your office, hiking, honestly, even for hiking, small hikes. I wouldn't load this thing out with like all my hiking gear. I have a hiking bag for that. But super, super, super solid. Super solid bag. Really enjoy it. Minaal always knocks it out of the park. I definitely got to get the roll top bag. I've been thinking about it. Like, look, comment below. Comment below if I should get the roll top bag and do a review. I haven't seen a lot of reviews on it. I like the look of it, man. It's a nice looking bag. So comment below if I should get the roll top bag, and I'll look into getting that and doing a review soon. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the Daily 3.0, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. Shoot me an email, odiematthewsbags@gmail.com if you want more pictures, suggestions, videos, anything like that. Follow me on Instagram at odie_matthews. Also, I have a Patreon if you want to head over there. Chuck in $1, $5, whatever you want. Be entered in a chance to win a bag or an accessory, depending on the month. It's going to be every other month. So like 135 is bags and 246 is accessories. No matter what level you pledge, you'll be eligible to win a prize. I'm not giving away like super huge, like $600 bags, but I will be giving away stuff every month. So, and all that money goes back into the channel to help grow and improve and become better, right? So if you want to follow me on Patreon, you also get bonus content, first access to videos, all that good jazz that Patreon is for. Thanks again for all the love and support you give this channel. Please leave a like, subscribe for more nonsense. And if I haven't already published it, but check out the hiking bag or video that I did with this. Pretty solid. And I'll see you next time.